Today we're looking at two special kinds of triangles, isosceles and equilateral. An isosceles triangle is a triangle with two congruent sides. Notice that these are marked congruent. The base angles, which are the ones at the bottom next to the not congruent side, they are also congruent to each other. The base angles are congruent. An altitude, which is the height of the triangle, drawn from the shorter base, splits an isosceles triangle into two angles, so that makes this an angle bisector of angle ABC, so this bisects. An equilateral triangle is a triangle that has three congruent sides. Notice that they're all marked congruent, and three congruent angles. And since the interior angles of a triangle add up to 180 degrees, that means each angle is 60, because 180 divided by 3 equals 60. Whoops, divided by 3 equals 60. We can use that information to find stuff. So let's first start by identifying the triangles. This has two congruent sides. That makes it, yes, isosceles. This one has three congruent sides. It makes it equilateral. This one has two congruent angles. That would make it the base angles of the isosceles triangle. And this one has three congruent angles, all 60 degrees, which makes this an equilateral triangle. With that information, we can find an x and y in different situations. So I'm looking for x and y. This is an isosceles triangle with an exterior angle that's 150 degrees. That means that this angle right here is the same as that one, right? And that they are equal to 180. So 115 plus x equals 180. If I solve that, I get that x equals 180 minus 115, which is 65. So x is 65 degrees. Since this is 65 and that is 65, that one's got to be whatever's left over for 180. So y plus 2x equals 180. We know that x is 65, so y plus 2 times 65 equals 180. So y plus 130 equals 180. So I subtract that 130, y equals 50 degrees. So x is 65 and y is 50. Okay, looking at this, doing the same thing, you give it a try. Did you get that x was 45 and y was 90? If not, come back and look at the work. Pause the video and give it a shot. Okay, this triangle has three sides that are the same length. That means they are equilateral. That means all of these angles are the same length. So I know that each one of them, they're the same measure. Each one of these is 60 degrees. So y minus 10 equals 60 degrees, and x plus 5 equals 60 degrees. So solving that, I'm going to get that y equals 70 and x equals 55. That's how you would use the equilateral piece. Alrighty, looking at this next problem over here. I have an equilateral triangle. You give it a try. Tell me how much they're going to come out to be. Did you get that both x and y were 45? I hope so. This is all we're working on. You're going to use the relationship formed by isosceles and equilateral triangles to find angles and sides, perimeter, sum of all the edges. So if you have any questions tomorrow during working on the worksheet, let me know.